In this video, I'm going to demonstrate a one-handed control method for playing Breaklands Breach. This is one of my favorite ways to play, and it consistently gets me to the hardest level of difficulty, level 9, which starts at a distance of 350 in the current version of the game. From 350 on, the difficulty remains constant. To play this way, I use the index finger of my dominant hand to steer the ship. I keep my finger relatively low on the screen so that I don't block too much of the screen with the rest of my hand. This visibility is important for accurately predicting where enemy ships are going to drift by the time they reach my ship. Meanwhile, I keep my middle finger at the ready for boosts and bombs. Boosts occur when a second finger is placed anywhere on the screen and held. Bombs require a double tap of any finger, but the most reliable method is to double tap with a second finger so that the primary finger remains in control of the ship. By far, this is one of the most important lessons to learn as a breach pilot. Maintain control of your ship at all times. This means never lift your primary finger up, ever, if you can help it. This one tip alone may be enough to help many of you break your current records. The orange flares are not a major threat to you, in that they don't immediately destroy you. These have an interesting behavior. Each flare that sticks to you makes you attractive to nearby mines, and slows down your horizontal movement speed. The more you have attached, the greater the radius of influence, the stronger the attractive force, and the stronger the slowing effect. One flare will only weakly attract nearby mines and won't slow you down too much. If you can't shake it off immediately, don't worry. Just try not to get stuck with a second flare. When you get an opening, shake your ship left and right a few times to rid yourself of the flare. Shakes are cumulative, so if you can only do one or two at a time, that's fine. Dodge as necessary and shake some more once you have the space. Two flares are extremely dangerous because you're much slower and more attractive to the mines. Try to shake at least one off as soon as possible. If you don't have the room, you might luck out by escaping the homing mines with a well-placed boost. Or you can remove all flares at once by firing a bomb. With 3 or more flares, bombs are about your only option. Only the brightest part of the flares at the top will stick to you. These are small and circular. This means that their contrails, the tails behind them, are safe to move through. All flare patterns provide enough space for you to weave safely through, with the notable exception of overlapping flare patterns from multiple ships. Speaking of overlapping, you may have noticed that mines and shooter enemies do not physically interact. This is intentional. Pay close attention while maneuvering so that you're not caught off guard by a ship hiding a rogue mine. The ships are translucent for a reason. We've heard some players suggest that boost seems useless. I personally use boost regularly and often. It doesn't merely move your ship down the screen, it speeds up your descent. If you watch the numbers in the upper left corner of the screen, you'll notice them climbing significantly faster while boosting. And you speed by your enemies that much quicker. This is great for when the screen is wide open and for escaping through closing gaps. When boosting is not an option, bombs are there for you to clear out a large area of the screen. Mines, the eyeball things, do not explode immediately. Instead, they are dragged when they intersect the path of the bomb. Shooter enemies do explode immediately. If a bomb hasn't intersected a shooter enemy by the time it's about 2/3 of the way down the screen, it will explode anyway. Use this knowledge to your tactical advantage. Hopefully these tips help some of you make it into the next bracket of breach piloting skills and claim some of those harder achievements.